The Greater Cambridge Shared Planning Service regulates the building of new homes and buildings across South Cambridgeshire and the City of Cambridge, as well as changes and modifications to existing buildings. With many of our villages containing listed buildings and conservation areas, it's important that we protect our important heritage and control unauthorised expansion. As such, all development should be properly controlled, with the correct permissions granted before any work is carried out. Sometimes, however, work proceeds without this permission being granted. This is called a breach of planning control. When this happens, our compliance team will investigate. Some examples of unauthorised activities that may take place include a new building being built without planning permission, or an extension to an existing building without the correct permissions. Unauthorised work to listed buildings or those in a conservation area may also be breaches of planning control, as could instances where the specific use of land or a building changes without the correct permissions. The unauthorised display of advertisements or signs is another potential breach, and work carried out on trees that are in a conservation area or are protected by a tree preservation order are also things we may need to investigate. You can find a full list of possible breaches of planning control on our website. It's important that where possible you carry out some simple checks before contacting us. In many areas, changes to buildings can be made under a set of guidelines called permitted development. These rules allow for certain works to be undertaken without the need for planning permission. Alternatively, the owner may have already applied for and been granted planning permission to carry out the work. So before you contact us, please familiarise yourself with the rules of permitted development and look up the location via our website to see if permission has already been granted. If you still believe that a breach has occurred, you can use the form on our website to contact our compliance team. You'll need to provide your name and address and some details about what the breach may be. All of this information is kept in the strictest confidence and will not be disclosed to anyone beyond the council employees involved with the case. Once we receive your query, our compliance team will investigate to see if a breach of planning control has occurred. This typically involves a search of records to see if permission was granted, and possibly a visit to the location to assess the problem. We then work to resolve the issue with the owner of the building or land. If the breach is minor and can be resolved through negotiation, the owner will normally be given the opportunity to remedy the situation within an agreed period. In some cases, we ask for a retrospective planning application to be submitted so that the work can be properly assessed against our planning guidelines. In more serious cases, where there is no prospect of planning permission being granted and the landowner is unwilling to stop or reverse the work, then the council can take immediate enforcement action. This can result in the case proceeding to legal action. If you suspect a breach of planning control has taken place, please alert our compliance team via our website. It's important that we all contribute to the continued preservation of our historical buildings, the maintenance of our trees and hedgerows, and to prevent unauthorised building work.